Today's guest author is Kirsten Imani Kasai, author of Ice Song. Her debut novel appeared as one of the top science fiction books of Barnes & Noble's 2009, as well as being voted the best adult science fiction novel for the Library School Journal for 2009. She's a journalist, a poet, and she has a quite interesting character. Kirsten, can you tell us about Sorka, who apparently changes from male to female? I know it's not the first time, but this particular character is garnering a lot of positive reviews.
Well, she has this unique ability to swap gender. In her case,
so he has this unique ability too.
He sometimes does, but she is the primary personality. So she is a woman character who can change into a man rather than a half and half a male character. So she has this ability. She's called a trader because she can trade genders. And so for her, what happens is that when she gets upset or scared or frightened, she kind of has this hormonal explosion inside of her. She gets sleepy, she gets disoriented, she kind of segs into her other gender and wakes up. And because she has a disease called the perilous curse, she doesn't remember what happened before. So not only does she have two genders, she also has two disconnected consciousnesses in her body.
So she's the Incredible Hulk of gender.
Exactly.
And apparently, I would imagine, wakes up in some awkward situations.
She wakes up in strange situations with strange people and clothes she doesn't recognize and has to figure out what happened and who the people are, can she trust them, does she know where she's going next. So it presents quite a lot of complications for her.
I would agree. So,
annoyed I didn't think of it myself.
it would make things easy. Well, it wouldn't. I'm not going there. So tell us about.
You have even more shoes than you have now. Don't go there.
I know. It's really embarrassing.
There's a lot to think about it.
There's a lot to think about, and I like it. Especially the more shoes part. Anyways, you have sort of a self-described genre that you're starting called the maternal saga. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the maternal saga is really something new that I'm creating. I'm giving it a name. I'm sure there's been a lot of other examples of it. But it is specifically adventure stories about mothers grappling with really deep issues as they're going on an adventure and a journey. So it's a physical adventure through the world. There's lots of action and excitement and challenges, physical challenges. But there's also an inner journey where she has to really grapple with issues of gender and issues of sexism and all of the pressures of the world.
So, fictionalized version of Sacagawea.
Well, and the function of the maternal saga is that she's a mother, and that's her primary identity, is to, in my case, in Ice Song, is for her to rescue her children. We have a lot of stories with men where his family gets killed by assassins or whatever, and then he has to go get revenge, and he goes in his odyssey. But the point is that her children are alive, and she wants to keep them alive, and she wants to have a happy ending. It's not going out to, mow everything down.
Right, so there's all the things to deal with, if she's got a number of children, breaking up the fights, or making sure that they're fed, or you can't go out wearing that while the story's going on.
And for her, she's actually nursing, because her children are babies, and so she switches back and forth. And she has to, one of her challenges, which is specific to the maternal saga, is that she has to retain her milk because she wants to feed her babies when she gets them back and recreate that bond. And I don't see that anywhere.
No, you're not going to get that.
Discussion about breastfeeding.
Right. Well, it seems to me like you've sort of paved this path, certainly with all the recognition and the great reviews you've been getting, that's there for your taking. I think it's a wonderful idea. Certainly being a parent, I'm now seeing things I never saw before. One final question, at least from me, if Eitan has one for you after that, by all means. What have you found in this, you're entering your second year, but you're the debut author. What have you found to be the most rewarding or fascinating part of this whole experience? Because, by the way, I remember sitting with Kirsten on her very first panel, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, what happens here? What's going to go on?" And it was very fun to see somebody else go through it. So I posed the question to you.
Well, it's been an adventure. It's been really fun because it's what I've wanted for such a long time, and you're trying to get there for so many years to finally have things start happening. It's really exciting. But the most interesting thing is reading discussion about the book in forums or having people ask me questions and things I never thought of, and I didn't ever view the character or the story in that way. And so hearing people analyze it is really trippy. Because I don't analyze books. I just read them or write them, and I think about it. But people that really love books and get down and pick them apart and analyze them and talk about them, it's just fascinating.
Yeah,
and a lot of fun.
Goodreads.com. There's this whole world of people who just spend the entire year throwing down books that they've read and getting all sorts of comments on them. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, interesting.
Eitan?
Do you see this being a continuing series, or do you have a set number of books and then you want to move on to something else?
Well, I have 3 more books planned. The second one I'm working on now, and that's going to be published in 2011, and that picks up right where the first one ends. And then I'm working on 2 more that continue through the life of her children as they grow older and sort of develop their own in the world. And I don't know if it will end after that or not, but I have a lot of other ideas, so I'm kind of looking forward to at least a break so that I can write another book.
Kirsten Imani Kasai, thank you very much for being a guest on NeverEndingPanel.com. Thanks for having me.